Welcome in, Scorpio. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. For those of you that are new, welcome in, guys. Hope everybody's doing awesome. Scorpio, this is going to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. It's your general love reading for the month of April. So, Scorpio, you're on my left, your person's on the right. I'm going to walk you through your oracle cards, pull some tarot, get some hidden messages from your person at the end. So, definitely stay tuned for that. That being said, here, Scorpio, it definitely looks like you are seeing the truth in the situation with your person. So I feel like for a lot of you, this relationship is coming to a close. We got conclusions are within reach, full moon, eclipse. So I feel like we actually are in eclipse season. We're actually going to have another one here on March 29th, which is right before this reading. Well, this reading will probably come out a couple days prior to the beginning of April. So I'll probably release it on Wednesday or Thursday. So that being said, here, I feel like, this person actually has been and played a very pivotal role in your growth and your development. And I feel like you both know or are both realizing, whether that be subconsciously or consciously, that like your time together is kind of like just naturally coming to a close, I want to say. And I don't feel like it's just on your side here, Scorpio. I feel like it's on your person's side as well. So your sacred symbols that came out were the truth card and friendship. So I feel like I don't know, maybe for some of you, you were hoping to possibly develop like more of a romantic relationship with this person, but I feel like deep down that this person is more, I feel like you've enjoyed your time with this person, you've learned a lot from them, and vice versa. They've really helped you with your healing here and got you through a really difficult time. But I feel like now you're seeing things clearly because your energy that's coming through is the dragonfly. And obviously in the dragonfly's wings, you can see through them. So again, I feel like you are seeing the situation a lot more clearly. I feel like you were hoping that things would maybe turn romantic, or in a more romantic way. But I feel like the truth of the matter is that that those feelings are just not there in that way. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's never easy to end a relationship with somebody. It doesn't mean that you guys can't still, be in each other's lives, but I feel like it's going to be more in a friendship kind of way, not maybe so much in a romantic way, is really what I'm getting there. So I guess you'll know how you're feeling about your person here. The mutual energy that came through between the two of you here is Mercury. So this really talks about, obviously, about communication, about having an open, honest conversation about these things. So I feel like that's coming in the month of April at some point. Let's talk about your person here. I feel like your person is actually in the same energy as you, even though nobody's been talking about it, I feel. So they got expect powerful change. Again, another mention of the eclipse, which is kind of wild. So expect powerful change. So I feel like this person is being protected here as well. Or this connection is protected in some way, shape, or form. So again, like I mentioned, I feel like you and this person, it was a very special connection that you had with each other. I just feel like it hasn't developed into something crazy romantic, and I feel like they know it, but like nobody's talked about it just yet. But I feel like on a subconscious level, you both know. Um, your person's energy is coming through as the cosmic egg, which really talks about, birthing something new, releasing old things. So again, I feel like this person is also going to be okay. So I feel like if you're worried about ending this situation with this person, I feel like they're not going to take it as hard as you think. And again, that's not a diss to you, Scorpio. Again, I feel like they really do care about you deeply, but I feel like this person is also recognizing that you know it's not for them either, right? With this not for you card. So if you've been hesitating, I feel like to end a situation with somebody, I feel like, you know, again, It's going to be a little bit sad, you know, for both of you, I feel, on some level. But I don't feel like this person is going to be devastated when you have a truthful conversation with them about that. And again, this person's kind of like already kind of like birthing something new or moving in a new direction with that cosmic egg card. So, and I feel like it has been, you know, a long journey here for both of you. So, and again, I feel like you both actually helped each other get through a very difficult time. So, whether that be, you know, just spending time together or having somebody to spend time together, I feel like you both actually like really grounded each other. This is what was on the bottom of the sacred symbol deck. And then I see the message card. So again, some sort of message coming through in the month of April about the reality of the situation, about the reality of how you feel and they feel. So the truth, I feel like, is coming to light here in the month of April here. So again, it doesn't mean that this person and you can't have a beautiful friendship, but I feel like the romantic part of it is coming to an end. So, you know, just be prepared for that here, Scorpio. But again, I feel like you already know this. So let's see here what comes through in feelings. How's this person currently feeling about Scorpio? How does this person currently feel about Scorpio? Should be interesting to see what we get. So, all right. How does this person currently feel about Scorpio? Feelings for Scorpio, please. So we have the Five of Swords coming out. That card almost wanted to come out. Six of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. All right. See if anything else wants to come out. Eight of Wands. Queen of Pentacles. All right. So this person knows that they, like, you know, deserve, I guess, more, I want to say. Scorpio, this person knows that they deserve everything that they're wanting. And I feel like this relationship has been lacking, I feel, for them as well. So it hasn't really been that emotionally fulfilling for this person. Again, not to say you didn't try your best, but I feel like you may have not been all in either here, Scorpio, on some level. But again, you know, if those feelings aren't there, they didn't develop, then, you know, who's really at fault, right? I just, either this person's a good fit for you long term or they're not. And I feel like this person is conflicted about it because, again, I feel like this person has really enjoyed spending time with you, Scorpio. But I feel like this person, you know, is focused more on giving to themselves now. And I feel like you've really helped them with, you know, building up their confidence, or, you know, I feel like you've really seen this person grow. I feel like you've grown as well in this relationship with this person. Like you both, you know, have benefited from this time together is really what I want to say. And again, we have some communication. So, and Queen of Pentacles is, you know, could be somebody that is, you know knows their worth, knows their self-worth now. And that's been something that I feel like you've actually helped this person with. So again, at the end of the day, I feel like you're both coming out winners here. We have the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So you both benefited from, you know, this relationship. So I like that. I feel like that's a, you know, a fair a fair assessment here of this person's feelings. So let's see how you feel. How does Scorpio feel about this person? How is Scorpio feeling? Okay, so we have the Tower coming out. Nine of Swords. Knight of Wands. Seven of Pentacles. I feel like Scorpio, at some level here, you guys did spend and have a lot of fun together here with the Three of Cups on the bottom, but I feel like for a lot of you, I feel like it's I feel like on some level here you feel a little bit bad because maybe, you and this person were sleeping together. I'm just gonna say it. We got the Knight of Wands out, and the Nine of Swords here. So I feel like you've thought about, it long term, building long term with this person. But again, I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like that, this isn't your person, if that makes sense. Um, and again, I feel like if you're being honest with yourself, that this was more about a friendship than anything else, or like having somebody to spend time with, possibly be intimate with, somebody to hang out with. But I feel like at the end of the day here, is it more than that? I'm going to pull a card here on that Seven of Pentacles. Can I get a card on the Seven of Pentacles? Yeah. So we have the Lovers card coming out. So yeah, I definitely feel like you and this person were together in that way. King of Cups. And I feel like you do, care for this person. There are deep feelings there, but again, I don't feel like they are romantic. I feel like you're recognizing that both of you need to go on a new journey. There's new opportunities elsewhere. And I feel like you're realizing that, it's time to move forward. And I don't know, I feel like with this Tower card, I feel like you think this person's going to be really upset, but I don't think they are. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to let you know, Scorpio, that I just feel like you're more stressed about, letting this person down than I don't feel like it's going to be as bad as you thought. I feel like this person already knows that. Yeah, let's pull a card on the Tower. Tell me about the Tower here. I feel like you're stressing out about nothing, or you're, overly concerned. Tell me about the Tower here for Scorpio in their feelings. Yeah, the Fool. So that's, going in a new direction, a new path, a new opportunity. And again, I feel like you still are, probably going to miss, those intimate times with this person. But I feel like for a lot of you, so I feel like there's some guilt there, right? Or you're worried about that this person's going to look at you in the light of, well, you were just playing me, right? On some level. But again, I feel like it's not going to be anywhere near as bad as what you're thinking, or it's going to be about having this conversation with this person, Scorpio. So I feel like you're, thinking the worst here, but I feel like this person's actually going to take it quite well if you are ending things here and really wanting to move forward with your life, right? Which it looks like to me that's what you're doing here. So let's see about actions. I kind of already feel like there's this conversation is happening with Mercury here and this Eight of Wands, but a Knight of Wands energy as well as movement. So let's see, let's ask specifically, is this person gonna make any moves towards Scorpio? All right, so I have the Hierophant coming out. I feel like on some level here, Scorpio, you were a teacher for this person. Four of Swords. So that really talks about healing. Let me get one more card. Two of Swords. King of Wands. All right, I feel like Scorpio again, I feel like this person, I feel like you were a good teacher for them. I feel like this person, something that you may not be aware of is that this person, is actually kind of interested possibly in somebody else with that Two of Swords and the King of Wands. So, yeah, that might have been something you didn't know about. I feel like this person may have had somebody else in the background. Let's see if you're going to take any action. What actions is Scorpio going to take towards this person? Justice card coming out. Page of Swords. Again, I feel like you're actually trying to be fair and balanced in this. I feel like you're trying to be sensitive. Yeah, I feel like there is a part of you here, though, Scorpio, that is gonna, obviously miss again not being with this person, like really releasing them. I feel like that part's been hard, or it's gonna be hard. Because that's like, somebody, this is really giving me like FWB vibes in this reading, like friends with benefits kind of energy. And it's going to be hard to like release that because, you kind of get accustomed to spending time and being with somebody, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling lonely. And I feel like, that part of the attachment is the hard part to let go, right? To really let go. Because you have a tendency to, if you have a FWB, that, and for those of you that don't know, that's friends with benefits, but I feel like you should all know that. But essentially what I'm saying is being with that person, spending time with that person, it's hard to let go of that completely, right? Especially when things aren't going well or you're just feeling lonely, you don't want to be by yourself. But again, I feel like you're trying to do the fair thing here and communicate that, that you do really appreciate the time that you and this person spent together. But again, I feel like you're going your own way here. You're wanting to. And again, I don't feel like this person's going to be that upset or is upset that you, I think they're going to miss you, Scorpio. Obviously, I feel like this person does care about you. And again, I feel like you've both benefited from this relationship. But I feel like realistically, at the end of the day, you're both kind of holding each other up from finding the person that you should, or, the person that's kind of meant for you out there, right? Because you kind of just kind of stop looking. If you're kind of relying on this relationship, which we see here, like some codependence for the two of you, neither of you are really out there like looking for a new person, right? Somebody to actually build with. So I feel like at the end of the day, this relationship served a purpose for a time being, however long that was for the two of you. You both benefited, but I feel like you're being honest. You're both kind of like going in different directions now, and I feel like Scorpio, it's you that's initiating this ending at the end of March. Yeah, I feel like you're initiating the ending here. But again, I don't feel like your person's going to take it as bad as you think. So if you're worried about, ending something with somebody, I feel like don't be, I want to say. Again, it's not because they don't care about you, Scorpio. I don't want you to get the wrong impression here. It's just that this person deep down also knows that, you and them were not meant to be in something long term. Right? Yeah, that's really what I'm getting here. Yeah, so I feel like, there's going to be a little bit of sadness here. And I feel like this person, at the end of the day, maybe was hoping that you would want to try a little bit harder or offer commitment to them, but I feel like that's not happening, right? I feel like they've already kind of accepted that. So this gives me the energy here that I don't feel like this is news to this person, if that makes sense. I feel like you and them may have definitely had some conversations along the way about, turning this into something more long term. But I don't feel like that ever really happened, if that makes sense. All right, let's get some messages here. See what this person has to say. Anyway, messages to Scorpio, please. Messages to Scorpio. We have I am blocked. Why do I feel this way? You've triggered me. I can't talk to you right now. Bottom of the deck is I don't know who I am anymore. Any other messages for Scorpio? This love is crazy. And I wish I could understand you. So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe at some point here in this relationship that you had with this person, Scorpio, is that really with that, I can't talk to you right now. This person is already, I feel like with that Five of Swords, already kind of like disengaged in some way. So I feel like this person has kind of pulled back their energy already. And maybe you felt that as well. And again, I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like you both appreciate each other for what you brought to the table here in this relationship. And, you can still love somebody. It doesn't mean that it's in a has to be in a romantic way. And I feel like that's really what this relationship was, to be honest. I feel like that's what it was. So it doesn't mean that you still don't care about the person or you don't have love in your heart for them. You probably do, or did, or still do. But again, it's not in a romantic sense, right? Or you just kind of know deep down that this just isn't going to work for me, right? So definitely, I am blocked. I don't know if that's you or your person here, but I do feel like those things have come to light here with the dragonfly. I feel like you're seeing things more clearly. But this could talk about a chakra, not wanting to deal with your emotions or your person. As well, you guys may have blocked each other at some point, like as far as communication goes. And just really, kind of like figuring out kind of where you kind of go from here, right? Or how to navigate this relationship now if you're just going to be friends, right? So I feel like that has to do with why do I feel this way. So, all right, Scorpio, I'm going to end your reading here. Hopefully it helped. Hopefully it made sense. If it did, if you can let me know, I'd love to hear from you. So feel free to make a comment or, let me know that it resonated by hitting the like button. I'd really appreciate that. And if you, feel so desired, hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell. So when you know when I have new content out, and hopefully I'll see you in your next read. Take care, guys.